Wamp wamp. What it do? What it do?
So, the mall used to be such a big part of our life.
Me too, man. So depressing.
So yeah, like me, Mike, and Dom used to go to the mall like I don't know, multiple times a week. That was like a thing that we did all the time. That was like the hang.
Yeah.
And like, you know, definitely in a post 2020 world, I'm like not in stores like that anyway. But it definitely like ultimately, I feel like malls were already on the decline, and like I would also probably go to the mall less because of that. But post 2020, malls just like became irrelevant for me, which was a weird thing. I was in the mall today. And
which one?
Burlington Mall. I gotta say.
Oh, is it bad there too?
It's just, I just haven't, like, the mall just doesn't do anything for me. Like, I did a couple laps around the mall. I looked at the store. Like, they have stores that I like, but I was just like, Like, I feel like not even buying anything. Like, I don't want to do anything here. I just kind of was like, I'm good. Like, I popped in a few stores that I like, and that was about it. It was just, it was so weird. It's weird to be like, for something that was, I don't know what the fuck that noise was.
Ghost?
As silly as it is for like a mall to be a meaningful thing to like my fucking.
No, it was a huge part of
up,
our. It was a huge. Dude. Malls were massive. It's like you said, like because I'm older than you. I'm like like 8 years older than 9 years older than you guys.
Older than us?
And fucking, all I did was go to the mall. Or like, what are we doing tonight? Oh, let's go walk around the mall.
It was the hang. We would go after high school. We would fucking drive out. We'd get fucking food at the food court. We'd fucking do a couple laps. We've probably talked about this at some point in the podcast, but we had like, I don't know, we had like rules. Are they rules, Mike? Where they were just like how we did them all?
I feel like there's probably a better term than rules, but yes, we had our own
rituals.
Routine, I guess, is a better term.
It was like we were trying to not actually speed run them all, but there was like it wouldn't count as a run if we didn't like do specific things. Had to enter through Best Buy. We had to enter through Best Buy. We had to do a full lap, which include up and down. We could do reverse lap, but we usually did the same route. We had to stop in specific stores for it to count, right? I feel like we had a lot of things.
Yeah, I think we did. And ultimately, it just came from the fact that we used to just enter the mall normally through Best Buy.
Yeah.
We'd hit up the stores that we wanted to hit up, and then we just made it a strict regiment of, okay, we're going to the mall. Let's do our thing.
What was your mall? Square One?
Yeah, Square One. Which Square One now is like, it's so depressing. It's so depressing to go in there. I'm like, man.
It is sad. Yeah, go ahead.
I was gonna say, I know someone who got shot at. Bullet went through the back of their window there and almost hit their kid, like in the parking lot there.
I mean, listen, we're talking about the collapse of like mall shopping, not like, hey, someone almost died.
Right.
Yeah, it's sad to see a mall like Square One that we used to go to basically turn into Meadow Glen. And I just like making these references to people that do not understand a goddamn thing I'm talking about.
I mean, listen though, Liberty Tree Mall used to be like a pretty dope mall.
I will never believe it.
As far as I'm concerned, Liberty Tree was just the North Shore of Meadow Glen. That's my opinion of that.
Yes. Liberty Tree had a massive arcade in it, like that, like we'd go to like all the time. Like it was like a huge. I think it was where the movie theater is now. But it was a giant arcade.
My brain cannot fathom the Liberty Tree Mall being a like mall people want
thriving establishment.
I just can't. I cannot.
Type Liberty Tree Mall into TikTok, and it's like horror videos of what it looks like now, and then people try to make it seem like it's like this eerie place that no one goes to.
So it's so bad. I mean, I don't know. I was always mauled. Target, and like
Target, but that's on the outskirts.
It's not even connected to it.
Yeah, the whole other part of that mall is just like big stores, and that's like the only reason why that parking lot, I don't know, hasn't been demolished and turned into condos. I'm sure, but I don't know. I was always mall deprived growing up because the mall in Chelsea was the Mystic Mall, and the Mystic Mall is like, I don't know, worse than Meadow Glen. It's got to be worse than Meadow Glen.
Does that mall still exist?
The Mystic Mall? I don't think so. I want to say it got knocked down and turned into like a new plaza that has like Market Basket and other, I don't know, I guess things people want to go to.
Malls are being turned into I don't know what
they want to be like Linfield Marketplace.
They want to be like Linfield or Assembly.
Yeah. Actually, now I'm trying to think. The The old Mystic Mall might have also had a market basket in it. I don't remember.
The fall of malls for me is like still I feel the ripple effects of it because I don't shop online. So
yeah, that's what I was gonna say. I'm like, Todd, you don't shop online. What do you do now?
You're an enigma.
I don't know what I go to Kohl's and I go to Target and I don't go to Best Buy anymore because there's no reason to go to Best Buy anymore, really.
I go to Best Buy.
I like to imagine. Yeah, I like to imagine Todd's wallet is just stuffed with Kohl's bucks.
Don't have a wallet.
Gotta go to Kohl's. No, Mike, he just puts things in his pocket and they fall out and he goes, I lost my debit card again. It's like, I wonder why. Yeah, I don't know. I still go to Best Buy once in a while because I think it's just like emotional attachment. It's like, yeah, I want to walk through Best Buy, but I don't ever buy anything at Best Buy anymore because they don't sell anything I want. I only buy something from Best Buy if like I'm looking for a specific physical game and they have it on sale, or if I need to make like a large appliance purchase. That's like the extent of what I buy from Best Buy now. Like
I get TVs from Best Buy.
if I get a new TV, most of the time it is from Best Buy.
Yeah, I will pop into. Actually, I really only go into Best Buy if I legitimately need to make a purchase. It's like the one place I can get something. So a few weeks, it was a while ago at this point. Brenden, you would appreciate this. My Wi-Fi router just shit the bed randomly. It just completely shit the bed. I'm like, I can't live like this. So I ran to Best Buy to buy a new router. And sometimes I might need like a new external hard drive, and I don't like waiting for something. I have to run to Best Buy or Target, but I go to Best Buy.
Yeah. Yeah. So
I used
far,
to get so much
good.
Best Buy bucks.
I don't want to jinx anything, but I don't have any Wi-Fi issues today. You were getting Best Buy bucks, Todd?
I was getting like those $10. I was going to Best Buy so much that I was just getting those $10 because I was part of like the Best Buy thing.
Yeah.
And I was getting those things so much.
Yeah, I mean, yes, I used to min-max that stuff too. I mean, that's still how I shop. We're going to turn this into a whole like shopping episode of the fucking podcast. But
we probably do.
I still am I like to think frugal shopper, and I try to shop based on deals or shop local businesses. But, when I do shop at those big stores like a Best Buy or a Target, I am usually like, I like to think taking advantage of their rewards programs in a way that benefits me. So I still like I have a Best Buy card that I use to like make specific purchases, but then immediately pay it. So it's just like I'm just flipping it into extra money that I can spend on whatever fucking video game or dumb bullshit I probably don't need, but I'm gonna buy anyway. And it's the same thing I do with Target. I flip their rewards program to benefit me. So, yeah, I don't know what the fuck we're talking about anymore. Welcome, everyone, to the Pass Control Podcast, a show where a couple of best friends talk about the latest in video games and nerd culture. Sometimes we have guests, sometimes we talk about the death of malls too much. Either way, we have a new episode for you each and every week. As always, I'm your host, Brenden Groom, and joining me on this lovely Friday evening is the anime senpai himself. Some call him Martini Mike, Mr. Michael Desir. Mike, how are you doing tonight?
How did you feel about Cambridge side?
I used to go to Cambridge side a lot when I was in early high school. Actually, maybe even through high school, but we just never would have went there together because I don't think we ever did. But so where I lived in Chelsea, the 111 bus would stop at my corner. So I would take that bus a lot into Haymarket. So it would take me that one bus would go over the Tobin and go right to Haymarket. So like for people listening who don't know what the fuck we're talking about, Haymarket is like one of the train and bus hubs. So from Haymarket you can take a lot of ways in and out of the city. And I lived outside of like Boston proper, so it was a good way for me to get around if I wanted to go into the city. And I wouldn't go into the city a lot for a lot of things, but like one of the things I would go into Boston for was to hop on, I want to say I'd take the 111 to Haymarket and then hop on the Green Line and get off at Leechmere, I think is where, I don't remember. But I would take a train that would take me to Cambridge side, and I would go there a lot. I have fond memories of buying, I'm trying to think what the fucking record store was in there. I don't think it was a Newbury Comics. I think it was like
Leechmere was my record store for a while. Leechmere used to be great for like.
It was like it was the name of a record store.
No, but Leechmere, like Leechmere, like the store, like they had like that's.
No,
I remember
I have
buying,
no
like,
idea what you're talking about. Leechmere was like a train stop on the Green Line.
Oh, there's like a place. There was actually a Leechmere like
Oh,
store
really?
that like
Well,
it was like it was like a Target, but it had like a big like music section.
Leechmere? I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm familiar with that one.
I'm trying to remember what there was something in there. It wasn't a
wasn't strawberries,
unless it was just a Best Buy. But I feel like, I mean, I guess that would have been one of the only Best Buys I could get to without a car. So maybe it was a Best Buy. I don't know. Regardless, I have fond memories of buying specific, like taking that ride out and buying like specific albums with my Walkman, and then like taking the train and bus back to my parents' house. So this will just age it and tell you when I was doing that. What year did this come out? This was 2003. So 2003, I took the train and bus into the city to go buy the Black Album. I remember it very specifically. So 2003, we were freshmen, Mike?
would have been freshman year, unless you did it like our end of middle school.
No, it was November 14th, 2003.
Then yeah, we would have been freshmen.
Anyways, yeah, Cambridge side. I didn't go there a lot. I went there more older, but like still not like often. Why did you go there a lot?
Oh no! As a matter of fact, I as I asked you the question, I'm like, why did I ask that? I've been to Cambridge side maybe twice. I used to go to what was it called? South Shore Mall? I forget what that one's called.
Plaza?
The one that's in Braintree. South Shore Plaza. I used to go there a lot.
I never really went there that much. What was your mall, Todd? Oh, you said Liberty Tree.
Liberty Tree and North Shore.
That's fucking crazy.
They were way different back then. Yeah. And occasionally Burlington, but like it was mostly those
Who
two.
put those two malls so close to each other?
What is
that
wild that they were like dual malls.
It's like the same owner too.
That's even weirder. Also joining us tonight is the fucking Fortnite father himself, Mr. Todd Gary. Todd, how are you doing this evening? I'm talking slow because you're muted and dealing with something. You're back. How are you doing?
I'm fending off the kids because, of course, they come out at the worst time possible. I'm good. You know, but in going back to the mall thing, and this is the last thing I'll say on it. It's not just like the death of the mall. It's like the death of like social interaction, because that's like kind of where we're at. Like what we're doing right now is what like all the high school and grade school kids do. They sit in Discord all night. They don't want to go out. This is what this is what they do.
What am I saying yep to? I don't fucking know. I don't have my finger on the pulse.
Yeah, I mean, I don't want to go out, but
I mean, I don't either.
I mean, but the mall was like a social thing for like me. I mean, I can't speak for Mike and Dom, but it was like a thing. It was like a thing for me, Mike and Dom to go do. I wasn't like going to the mall to fucking meet other people. If anything, we were going to the mall to make sure that our fucking I feel like we've done this on the podcast. We were going looking
for ladies.
Oh well, we weren't doing that. I mean, I wasn't.
But we should have. We should have. We were doing them all wrong.
There were we had doppelgangers. So like if we went on a mall run and let's say Dom wasn't there, it was just me and Mike, we would always see someone that looked exactly like the person that was missing every fucking time. And I think at one point we had our rivals, and the rivals were there was this group of 3 girls that we would see often who would also be like probably not doing anything that we're doing, but in our heads we're like also doing mall webs and like whatever.
Again, if we were doing them all right, we would have hit them up. We would have made a connection. Instead, we were just weird.
No, they were like our rowdy rough boys. Or something similar. I don't know.
It's strange for us, given the genders that we've already established, that we're like, they're the rowdy rough boys. We're the Powerpuff Girls.
Well, obviously
we're the good guys.
Obviously, we're the Powerpuff Girls. I mean, you are a fucking green one. Buttercup?
Green was Buttercup.
Okay. I don't know between Dom and I. Dom doesn't really strike me as a Bubbles. I'm not really a Bubbles, but I feel like I have to be Bubbles in this analogy.
You wrote yourself into this corner.
Damn it.
I don't know what to tell you.
Can I just be Mojo? I'm probably more of a Mojo.
I suppose. But then the rowdy rough boy thing doesn't track.
Yeah, that's true.
So,
okay.
You can be the professor dad guy.
No, that's actually Todd. Since he's 17 years older than us.
True. If Todd were with us, he would be smoking a pipe.
Anyways.
Hey,
We have
Not
a
the type.
we have a great show for you tonight. Sort of, maybe not. Who knows? It all works together that we just organically talked about local dumb shit because we are going to talk about PAX East a little bit today. So, whatever. We're just this is
A little bit.
This is a Boston episode. What can I say? But before we get into that, a couple of quick housekeeping things. This episode of the Pass Control podcast is sponsored by our good friends at Goodnight Fatty. If you're in the Salem, Massachusetts area or the North Shore of Massachusetts on a Friday, Saturday, Sunday evening, you want yourself something hot, something sweet, something tasty, something fresh out of the oven, you can head on down to 1 Washington Square and get yourself a delicious fatty. And if you're unaware of what a fatty is, you can check them out on social media at Goodnight Fatty and educate yourself on these tasty, tasty treats. Other quick housekeeping things. I don't know. There'll probably be a little bit more PAX East stuff to follow this episode. With Dom not being here, we will, at the bare minimum, also talk about some PAX stuff next week, I'm sure, when Dom is here, so that he can talk about some of the things that he liked and played. Some of it might retread games we talk about today, but we'll see where the episode takes us. We did give out our awards this year, so depending on where this episode goes, maybe we'll just kind of sandwich and save those 5 award games for next week to talk about when Dom's here. But if the conversation goes there, then we're going to talk about them. So I'm not going to make any promises up front. But we will probably talk a little bit more about PAX next week. And then there might be some other stuff that pops up regarding PAX as different things become allowed to be talked about or something. I don't know. Sorry, I don't know. I don't know why I chose to take a sip of beer. I was like parched a little bit from that, and then like I was like, let me just stop what I'm doing and take a sip of beer. Anyways, we got a great show for you this evening. But before we hop into PAX stuff, since Todd was at PAX in an extremely limited capacity, and to not just sideline Todd for the rest of the episode. Todd, what have you been playing? What do you got going on?
What am I playing? I haven't played a lot, but I've been playing Expedition 33.
Oh, okay.
Trucking through that.
You're further than me at this point.
Yeah. I fucking was hard stuck on a boss for probably about a week and a half. And I was about ready to give up on the game. And then I played some Doom. What is it called? Doom Dark
Ages, I believe.
Dark Ages, yeah. It's great. It's awesome. It's like, it's not as fast paced as Eternal, but it's still not slow. It's like it's got its own little, thing to it. But I'm loving it so far. It's more Doom. I think they're really good at like reinventing Doom over these last 3 iterations. So yeah, I've been playing that. I don't think I've been playing anything else. I think that's it.
Fun times.
Off the top of my head. Oh, and some Marvel Rivals, baby. I'm back in it.
I uninstalled it.
Yeah. I get it.
Yeah.
It's the only multiplayer game I'm playing right now, so it's like need something.
Yeah, I uninstalled it to make space for. I thought I had already uninstalled it, but I uninstalled it the other day to make space for Capcom Fighting Collection 2, which I will quickly say, if you like fighting games, this is like a must-buy, in my opinion, simply because it has Capcom vs. SNK 2 on it, and I think that is like probably a top 3 fighting game all time. Especially, for my personal rankings, if you were to remove Smash out of the running, it's like probably a top 2, maybe top 1. I think it is one of the best fighting games, easy. And being a game that was stuck on PS2 GameCube era, I don't even know if it got an Xbox port back then. But it definitely had, I think, PS2 game. It definitely had GameCube because I had it. I think it was PS2. It might have been Dreamcast, PS2, GameCube. It was definitely on Dreamcast too. I don't think it was Dreamcast, GameCube only. Anyways, it's a top tier fighting game. So if you want like one of the best fighting games readily available to you, I think it's a must pick up. But it has other great games on it too. I mean, it has CVS 1, it has Power Stone 1 and 2, which people love. It has Alpha 3, which is another good Street Fighter game in my opinion, and it has like 2 or 3 other games on it. Project Justice, and Capcom. I'm never gonna remember the name of this game. It's like Capcom fighting fucking Bonanza. It's not that, but it's something like that, and it has a couple of characters from a bunch of different things. And then there's one more game on there, I forget, but it's a solid little collection, and again, I think just for CVS2 alone, it's worth it. But there's some gems on there, so I'm gonna definitely be playing more of that. I played a little bit of it last night. I streamed a little bit of it. I probably should have practiced a little bit more before I hopped on and was streaming it because I was getting mopped a little bit. And
Were you playing online or?
no, I'm not crazy.
Okay.
No, because I'm pretty good at CVS2, but I haven't played CVS2 in a while, so I didn't want to like just hop in and get wrecked online. But I also probably should have warmed up a little bit before I just hopped on and played arcade mode because a couple of rounds I got washed. But it's a good game, real good game. But anyways, back to what we're here to talk about, which is our time at PAX East. Mike, I'll just go off the top here with saying, for a brief moment, we got a chance, both of us, to play with a Nintendo Switch 2.
That is true.
How'd it feel?
Well, we got to use it in a very limited capacity. So, basically, we were able to play a very small amount of Bravely Default Flying Fairy HD Remaster, which is a remaster of the Bravely Default game that is coming to the Switch 2 launch title. We had two options. You could have played a little bit of like the main game, or you could have played some of the mini games, which were new to the Switch 2 version. So, you played mini games, right, Mike?
Yeah.
Okay. I also opted to play mini games because we played it at a separate time than each other. But in doing so, not only did we get to play new content, which was the mini games, we also got to play with a new functionality that is available on the Switch 2, which is the mouse support. So, I think we both played different mini games too. Talk a little bit about what you got to play, Mike.
I got to play the airship one.
Yeah.
So it's the one where you're flying an airship through some rings, but there's a bunch of different controls you have to hit, and you use the two different mouse controls, so left and right, to interact with the console. And when I say the console, I mean like the airship's console. So I'm steering, I'm adjusting the height I'm flying at. There's a couple other things that you have to do. And it was definitely a new experience. Like, I've played with controller, I played with mouse and keyboard, but I've never played with mouse and mouse. So, mouse and mouse, entirely new way to think about things, but like at a certain point I did get the hang of it. And it was a lot of fun, I'll say.
I got to play the rhythm game that was in there, and same thing. It's a dual mouse scenario, so you flip the Joy-Cons over on their, like, I don't know, their console connecting side, and you're using the two mice or the two Joy-Con 2s to basically, the Joy-Cons each represent like little circles, and there's a beam that goes between them. So you need to like either, there's a few different things you have to do. You have to either like chop the notes circle notes in half when they show up, or if there's like a beam that comes across, you have to line up with it. And then if there's like hard notes, you have to like put one of the mice in it and click the button. And then I think there might have been one or two other things you would do. And that was just in the two songs that were available for us to play around with. I mean, there might be more that happens, but it is it's weird at first to use like double mouse situation, but it also feels really intuitive at the same time. Like I'm really excited when the Switch 2 is out to play with that mechanic more and see how other games utilize it in either, interesting ways like these mini games on Bravely Default, or, more traditional ways like using it to how Metroid Prime uses it, which is like the mouse, right hand mouse down, and then the other one is up, like you're pointing the gun. So I think, I don't know. It feels good. It felt good. I liked it. I was looking forward to playing more of it. And I've played Bravely Default back in the day on the 3DS. So I'm actually, like, this was something I probably would have maybe got to at some point. But now it might actually just be like something I buy at launch and play in between playing Mario Kart World. Like I don't know. I'm kind of sold on Bravely Default just from playing it again for like a brief second. And I watched a friend friend of the program, John Carson. I watched them play a little bit of the intro of the main game, and I was like, yeah, I could probably mess around with this for a little bit. I'll hop in next to, unless there's something you want to hop into, Mike. I'll hop into the next thing.
I got nothing.
So the next thing I definitely want to talk about, which is a weird one, is a game that I had played and owned multiple times before PAX, but got to play it in an extremely interesting way at PAX, which was Buckshot Roulette.
I'm dying to play that.
There's a booth there that had Buckshot Roulette set up in a real setting. So you sat at a table with 3 other people, and you had a physical shotgun that you would pass around the table and play the game. And I like Buckshot Roulette. I think it has interesting mechanics. Like, there's items that you can, like, if you haven't played Buckshot Roulette, like, basically it's Russian roulette, but there's a bunch of different rules and items that can kind of change how it goes. So up front, and when a round starts, it tells you how many bullets there are and how many blanks there are. So let's say there's eight in the chamber. It might say there's 2 with bullets in them, and then the rest of them are empty or blanks or whatever. So you're basically playing a game of, do I want to risk it and shoot someone around the table, or do I want to try to burn and empty and shoot myself? And if you shoot yourself and there's nothing in there, you get to keep going. So that's part of the kind of mechanic of how the game flows. But then you also, as rounds go on, get items that can enhance and give you, the upper hand. Things like cigarettes that let you get some health back. Things like handcuffs that stop someone of your choosing from getting to go that round. Or, I don't know, Mike, other items I'm forgetting.
The beer that lets you eject a shell.
Okay, yeah, lets you
magnifying
eject
glass.
it. Lets you look at the chamber and see what the next bullet is. So there's a lot of interesting items, whatever. But all this stuff was there, like physical items that someone working the booth would pull and reach into a bag and pull out and give you an item. It changed the way that game played. It was the same game, absolutely same game, except for you're sitting at a table. And in our case, it was Mike and I, and then friends of the program, Sean Thomas, Alex Van Aken, and it was the 4 of us in this like real life duel of, yeah, we're not really shooting each other. There's no real stakes here, but the stakes never felt so fucking real. I think what also sold it was that, like, when you shot the gun, air went out of it. So, like, you felt something, like, physically when someone shot the gun. So it was like, I don't know. It was a really cool experience. I kind of hope that, I guess they're potentially playing with the idea of maybe trying to make that a real thing that you could buy at some point, like a physical version of the game. I think it would make it a really cool party game.
That Buckshot Roulette always gave me like Inscription vibes with like kind of how it's set up. Like, yeah, with like items too, like, in like Inscription, you can grab a knife and pull your eyeball out and like, like do random, like it's got like that like vibe to it.
Yeah, no, it was a fun time. I think it was like, for something that was like, A, I already have it, I've played a bunch of it, and B, like, this isn't a real thing that we're there to see. It was a highlight. That experience was a highlight of the show for me. I really had a good time doing that. I don't know if you feel the same way, Mike.
I enjoyed it. I was looking for one of the other games at that booth that I played, and I like typed in the publisher or whatever into Steam, and Buckshot Roulette showed up for me, and it was only $3. So I was like, let me just pick it up real quick because I didn't own it yet. So I do now own Buckshot Roulette, and I think I played through the tutorial real quick just to see how it played for realsies.
Yeah.
But yes, it was a very enjoyable experience to play it in meat space.
Mm-hmm. I will say, since this is just a natural segue, so you're talking about Critical Reflex, the publisher. So I think you played, I don't know how to say the name correctly, Troleau? You played the Trolley game. I don't know how to pronounce it, but it's Troleeu. So Troleau. If you want to talk about that at all.
Yeah, that was just, it was a game where you're essentially the ticket giver of a trolley. So passengers would come in, you'd go up to them, you would take their money, and you would give them a ticket. but it gets a little bit more complicated because they'll come. If they're paying you with cash, you have to give them change. If they're paying with card, you have to swipe the card. Sometimes they come in and they have like a trolley pass and like check to make sure that it is like a valid pass or like it's their picture on the pass. Or sometimes like people try to fade evade and you have to like punch them and then throw them out of the trolley. And I mean that was the basics that and also like sometimes passengers become unruly, and I think you either have to get them to stop doing whatever's bothering other passengers or again punch them and throw them out.
Yeah.
All this happens in the tutorial, so I'm sure it gets a lot more complicated as the game goes on. And I don't know, it was a fun little. I feel like there's like a good comparison for it that I can't come up with.
Yeah. This one looked interesting to me. I'm sad I didn't get to try it, but it does look like there might be a demo out or coming soon on Steam, so I'll be checking that out. But it looks super interesting. It looks like it's a fun time and funny as well. So definitely seems like something I'm going to keep on my radar. But that booth had a lot of. We didn't get to play everything while we were there. Did you also play Militsioner, which is the you did?
Yeah.
How do you feel about that?
I like the concept. I think I needed more time to figure out exactly what to do in the game.
Yeah. You would. I feel like Todd would like this game too.
Yeah, maybe.
So basically, it's an immersive sim stealth fish game that everything you're doing, there's like a giant police officer that's chasing you. And you have to, is the goal just avoid the police? I don't know what the goal is of the game. I didn't play it.
The game starts off and like the police officer basically says, like he accuses you of something. I'm not quite clear on what it is. And then he drops you off in the city. And like he's still just there. He's looking at you and shit. And you're walking around trying to figure out how to escape the city and escape the giant police officer. And there are other people in the city that you can kind of interact with.
Mm-hmm.
And you can do other things which may affect the police officer's mood, which in turn does other things.
Yeah.
So I remember when I started, it basically told me something along the lines of like the police officer might get sad, and I forget what that one did. And then at some point I was walking around the city and I saw a car, and I opened up the door of the car. That's against the law, I suppose, breaking and entering. And the police officer's like, I saw that. And it told me like the police officer's angry. And he asked for like some sum of money to pay as a fine. But I just spent all my money on like apples or something. I don't know. I was broke. So I didn't know what to do. What else can I say about this game? I did enjoy it. I was actually, besides the trolley game, I was looking to wishlist that game, whatever it's called, and some other game that I did not play but I thought looked interesting. I'm gonna
at their booth.
Pull up my Steam at their booth. I'm just gonna pull up my Steam just so I can see what it was because I know I wishlisted it.
So I'll read the description that's listed here, Todd, because I do think this is a game that Todd would like. Every move you make is being followed by a colossal policeman. Piss him off, flatter, or disappoint and lie, or even romance a giant to escape in this Kafka-esque immersive sim. You're an ordinary no one who hasn't done anything noteworthy, let alone a crime. Must be a mistake, yet this morning you were arrested. Pack your stuff and leave as fast as possible, but be wary. Every move you make is being followed by a giant policeman.
It looks cool from the pictures I'm looking at right now.
I think it's also really funny that the developer of this game is called Tall Boys. So maybe they're just going to only make giant games. I don't know.
Right.
Yeah, that booth had a lot of bangers. One that I wish I'd played that I didn't, but I've heard a lot of great things about was Altered Alma, which is a Metroidvania that looked really good. I watched friend of the show Lucas White play it for a bit, but I did not myself get to play it. Another game there that we ended up giving an award that we'll table for now because I think we're gonna just talk about the award games next week, just based on where this episode's at right now. Was Tanuki Pond Summer. So definitely look forward to our conversation about that next episode. Let me pull up my notes here. Oh, you were looking for one more game that you would played there, Mike?
Yeah, the
Or
other
looked at?
game. No, I didn't play it. I was just interested in wish listing it, which was No, I'm Not a Human.
Oh, that was like the horror game. Visually,
Yeah.
that looked cool. I don't think I would enjoy personally playing that, but that game looked really cool.
Yeah.
Why do these guys look like Titans?
Yeah, they do. I'm not even sure what the prep. I don't even know what the game is actually about or what you're supposed to do in it. But I'm like, this looks interesting. I want to play this.
Another game that Mike and I got to play together that I had a good time with was a game called Botsu, which is a Devolver Digital published game. It is 3v3. You're just like kind of, I'm trying to think of a good comparison. Like it's like physics based, so it's like kind of like Human Fall Flat or like something like that, where it's like a little janky because it's like physics based and you're kind of flopping around a little bit. But it's a 3v3 and it plops you into like different types of head to head things. The mode that we had a chance to play was it would put us on this like ramp above lava that was going back and forth, and giant boulders were falling down to like run us over. But in between all of that happening, we had to like, you had to basically beat up and knock the other team off this thing. And it was like the first team to get win 5 rounds or whatever. But we were watching other people play other stuff, and there's seemed like
Did
a
you
lot
play
of
the
variety.
basketball mode?
No, we just played one of the modes.
That looks great. The basketball mode looks cool.
Yeah, it looks like a really fun party game. Like it looks like a game that you'd have a ton of fun playing, just based on some of the other modes we got to watch people play. And I had a great time with it. Like that's super in my wheelhouse. Like just based on the fact that it was a Devolver thing and like the way the booth was set up, it immediately caught my eye because I was like, oh, this reminds me of the year Fall Guys was here. Like it reminds me of that type of like party atmosphere. Very different games. There's like some underlying similarities, but different games for the most part. Similar booth setup, and obviously Devolver kind of makes that a unifying thing. But that game was fun. I had a good time with it. I feel like Mike also had a good time with that game.
Yeah, it was fun. Yeah, it was very. I would say, I don't want to say exactly Fall Guys-esque, but there was definitely an element of that in it.
The description on Steam: it's the ultimate robo sports showdown. Compete online or split screen in a series of ragdoll physics-based battle sports to prove your mechanical mettle. Yeah, it has a lot of that. Like, I feel like any of these games that does the ragdoll thing, it like adds that level of jank where it's like it adds a little bit of uncontrollableness to the competitiveness. Like you can be good at it, but there's also that like little bit of you're not always in fully control of everything. But
yeah, did your limbs blow off?
I feel like they kept blowing off. Like if you punch someone hard enough, like you could like knock their leg off and like break off parts of their body, which would obviously make it harder for them to like stay on the platform. So it was a fun time. Like I could see myself having a lot of really fun nights with us and other friends like playing that game for a bit. Like that definitely seems like something that could get some heavy rotation from me.
The slow clap soccer game wasn't there, right?
If it was, I didn't see it. Other things that we had a chance to play, Mike, you played a game called Airframe Ultra. I still don't know if you even fully know what you were doing in that game.
I didn't. No, not a clue.
Did you have fun with what you played at least?
I mean, it's all right.
It's tough to say because basically, broad strokes, it is a 4-person like racing game, but there also becomes a point where all of you guys are off your motorcycles and you start fighting each other with weapons. Now, the beginning part where it was a racing game, initially I wasn't going to play. I was just kind of looking over the shoulder, but they needed a 4th person. So they handed me a controller really quickly, and I never got the sense of which screen, because it was a 4-person split screen, which screen I was in. Like I could tell whoever I was looking at didn't seem right. Like I would turn and then like it seemed like it was me turning, but also felt like there was some lag or something. It was way too late for me to realize I was looking at the wrong screen. all of which is to say is like, yes, I played it, but for most of the time, it wasn't like I was actually doing anything.
Okay.
Once I figured out what I was doing, then I was still trying to play catch up, just mentally with, what I was trying to accomplish. Like,
yeah, it visually it looked cool. Like it had like that like washed out like CRTV. Like it felt like you were playing like a N64 game. Like it was blocky, and whatever like overlay the screen had over its graphics were. It like had a very specific vibe that looked like my jam. It's definitely something I'm gonna look to see if there's a demo or when the game comes out, because it looked like very interesting to me. But that was, I think that was when Dom and I were playing Gigasword. You got wrapped up into that because it was, I believe, in the same. It was the next booth over.
maybe.
I'll just bring it up because it's here. Why not? We got to play maybe too much of Naruto Battle Emblem Battle, which is an arcade game that is out. There's not really any near us, but the game prints these like physical plastic cards that you like win every time you play, and it's like you're building teams based off of these cards that you can get. I don't know. If there was one closer to us, Mike, honestly, I'd probably be going to it more than I want to say I would.
I don't doubt that.
But I think it's interesting, like, for an arcade game. I don't think it's, gonna change the way arcade games are played or made, or break down any. I don't think it's going to change things or like, it's this big revolutionary thing. But I thought it was fun. Like, I actually had a good time with it. I think the limited amount that you get to actually play in a session where you're essentially battling other teams of these cards, I think there's some interesting depth for what it could be based on. It's just, it's a quick little. Would this make it a gacha game with this mechanic?
I think so.
Oh no, maybe I shouldn't talk about this game. Yeah, I mean, I guess it's like sort of a physical gacha game, but you do I don't even want to say you control your fate, because you don't. It's still random, but you do get to potentially like use your skill to pull rarer things as opposed to everything just being up to random. But I thought it was interesting. I'm going to stop talking about it now. But I am going to be thinking about this game and thinking about when I can drag you to the closest machine, to be honest, Mike.
Yeah, you have to remember to like remind me to
bring your cards.
Bring my cards.
Sorry. So there was that. Other game that I enjoyed that we got to play that didn't make the list was oh no, Mike has so many pictures of me playing Naruto Emblem Battle. Well,
I forgot I took those.
I had a time with that one. I got to play a game called Motion Wreck that I was excited about. This is monochrome puzzle game with an interesting puzzle mechanic where basically there's a cassette tape on the bottom. You can press forward or rewind. When you press forward, actually I don't remember which one. I'll just say forward. When you press one of them, it records your pathway that you move. And when you do I guess maybe it's rewind. I don't know. When you press one of the buttons, it lets you record your pathway. And then when you use the other button, you can then like use that pathway to move. Yeah, it must be rewind. Right. So you use the pathway to move that same way again. So essentially, you get put in these rooms where you're trying to figure out how to traverse different areas, and the way to move forward is to figure out like, oh, I need to create this pathway over here on these platforms, so then I can go all the way over here, and then whatever, press fast forward and go up using the created path I just made. The demo was like 20-ish minutes long, and I think it was like, seemed like it let you go as far as you could make it based on how many puzzles you could solve. And even in that brief moment, I feel like I got a good look of like, oh, this actually can get pretty challenging. Like you have to really be thinking about how to maneuver yourself to get further and progress. So I think that game could do really well for me. Like I think that game could be something that I really enjoy and would be a very satisfying puzzle game. But I think the mechanic seems like it could be potentially tricky to balance, where it's like this game is going to go one of two ways. It's going to get boring and easy to solve, or it's going to hit that sweet spot and be great, or I guess one of three ways, or it's going to end up being too difficult at one point where I'm like, I am not smart enough to figure this pathway out, and then just get frustrated and move on.
Now that I was like, it reminded me of something. Now I'm remembering. It's making me think of Box Boy.
Dom said the same thing to me, because he also had the chance to play it, and it is definitely Box Boy like. It's a little bit Box Boy. You were limited to like X amount of boxes you were making, and you are limited in this. Like when the tape runs out, you can't create a longer pathway, but it seems like the amount of boxes you could get in Box Boy and the amount of tape you have in Motion Wreck are like you're making much longer pathways. So it could potentially be a scenario where like these puzzles get pretty complicated later in the game. But I enjoyed it. I'm looking. It's a Brenden-ass game, so I'm looking forward to playing more of that for sure. In that same section, I also played a game called Nightboard. Actually, is it actually called Nightboard, or I just write down Nightboard because you were a knight on a skateboard?
All right.
Nightboard. Okay, let me try Nightboard game. Nope, don't want board game. Night skateboard game. Skateboard Knight. Good thing I looked it up. It's not called Nightboard. This is like, it was nothing to write home about, but it's also such like a Brenden-ass game of just you're a knight that is on a skateboard. I think it's a roguelike. I actually don't know if it was a roguelike. But it's an RPG with 3 lanes. You go up and down between the 3 lanes. Every time you gain a level, you're picking new, skills, new attributes that you want to get to your character that, a lot of the same stuff you'd expect from similar games. Attack speed up, attack range, spells, pull more gems from further away so you can level up quicker and like all that type of stuff. And super easy. It's just up and down to play and then selecting every time you level up. It's not a game that is going to, again, like be doing anything vastly different or like really be this big thing that I'm going to be like, I can't shut up about Skateboard Knight. But when it comes out, this is going to be one of those things that like, yeah, I'm playing Skateboard Knight for fucking 3 hours while I'm laying in bed or something and having a blast doing it. So I'm definitely looking forward to more of that. It looks like it's coming out on mobile and Steam. So that's like an easy slam dunk phone game for me. Like I would probably have no problem playing that in bed or whatever. You played another game at that booth, Mike, Glacier. I don't know if you have much to say about that.
Not much. I feel like not. I'm gonna say this first. I think I started playing it because you guys were also in the booth and you guys were sitting at your games for so long, my feet hurt and I just wanted to sit down. So I sat down to play the game.
Okay.
The game itself was, fine. You were like a underwater sea creature thing. And I don't know, some mysterious voice was telling me like, hey, your people were destroyed by, I don't know, there was some narrative. It was in Japanese. There was English subtitles. So I just kind of swam around the ocean. I think I fought a big fish.
Okay. According to the Steam, I don't know, the Steam page, it says, synopsis. I don't know. I could not think of words. Sword of the Seas, the end of time. 65 million years in the future, the world is frozen over and the oceans have become sealed under a thick layer of ice. Become a tuai, pronunciation, a species that evolved from birds, and protect the Everwinter in this futuristic underwater action game. So, it looks interesting. It does not look like a game for me. I want nothing to do with this. to be honest.
You don't
But-
like sea monsters?
It's not really my thing. The gameplay looks fine. I'm watching a video of it right now. The gameplay looks fine, but like, I don't know. Sea creatures and being trapped underwater doesn't sound like something I want to.
I never, until you explained that to me, I didn't know I was trapped underwater. I just assumed that it was just
An underwater
deep
game.
underwater. It was an underwater game. I didn't think I was stuck down there.
Um,
He didn't strike me as a land creature anyway. Like I wasn't dying to get up on land.
I think the last two things worth bringing up before we wrap things up here are we played a few things at the Limited Run Booths game, Limited Run Games booth, and two of those I'm excited about. One is the Gex Trilogy
Gex?
because, whatever. I played Gex when I was younger. Gex is kind of a, meme-ish type thing that gets thrown around in our friend circles a little bit sometimes. A lot of the water at Jerry Garcia's house. Todd, did you ever play Gex at all? I wonder if Todd would like Gex. You're muted.
I don't know.
I was looking at it during the 13 minutes I was there, and I was like, "Do I play this?" And I'm like, "They might yell at me if I grab this controller, so I'll wait because it wasn't open yet." Like,
Nope.
how we were
The
in there
purpose
early.
of that hour is to play things.
Yeah,
You should have played it. I'm curious if you would like it because it's like it's an old game. It's just very lightly remastered for modern consoles. It's just a platformer that has like you're essentially going into like television and like movies and stuff. So like you'll be playing a level that's like I played a level that's based on Gilligan's Island, and you're dressed up like in a red shirt with a little the little white hat. There'll be levels where you're like James Bond and you're in a tuxedo, stuff like that. And he just go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I was gonna say, he like he'll just look at the screen and like say some stuff that probably doesn't age well, but also some stuff that's like, yeah, maybe that's funny still. But I don't know. It's Gex. He's a thing of an era.
Do we think that Family Guy stole all of its flow from fucking Gex?
I mean, kind of. It kind of is, to be honest. I wonder. Part of me wonders if this is like a. Let's see how this does, and then maybe do we make a Gex for the modern era? Maybe. Who knows? I'd play it.
Maybe.
But, it's Gex. I had fun with it. It's Gex. But I think the real standout from the Limited Run booth was a game called Earthion, which is a game that's being made, I believe, when we were talking to Jeremy there, unless I misremembered him, he said it was being developed as a Sega Genesis game. Like it is being developed like as a Sega Genesis hardware. Maybe I'm not supposed to say that actually. I don't know. Let me find out if I need to edit that. Well, if you're listening to this live after and it's edited previously, you'll find out another time.
Yeah,
just see.
Keep your mouth shut. Be cool.
Earthion. This is according to a public website. Earthion is an upcoming aftermarket shooting game developed by Ancient primarily for the Sega Mega Drive. Okay. Physical Mega Drive version will be published by Super Deluxe Games and Limited Run Games. Okay. So, all right. That is public information. But super cool. It fucking looks like it is a Sega Genesis game, which is not a bad thing. Like, it looks so much like that. And then, I don't know, just some of the visuals that it does when you beat a stage and the way the ship, like, turn. Did you beat a stage, Mike, when you played it?
Yeah.
I don't know if you were paying attention to the screen and caught this, but it just felt so fucking good where, like, the ship just turns and then, like, drives towards the screen. And then it the way that it's animated and the way it does that and the screen turns black, I'm like, it feels like it's 3D, like it's popping out, but it's clearly not fucking doing that. That's not how technology works. But it was just, it was like so good. It was such good animation, such good pixel work. And it's a great shmup. Like, it felt fantastic. I mean, if you play shmups or, have any of that in your back catalog or, familiar with Ancient at all, like, what's going on here is fucking cool. It's also it has I believe it has Yuzo Koshiro doing the music for it. So like there's a lot of stuff going into this that I think should be exciting for a lot of people, but it was a fantastic game. Like we played it. You could play it there at the Limited Run Games booth on their setups in their booth, but we actually played it on a Steam Deck in behind closed doors, and it felt good. It looked so good. I'll say this to Todd too. That was like my first real time playing with the Steam Deck, Todd. Man, it made me think, do I need to buy a Steam Deck?
Yeah,
It felt good.
I always saw it look comfy.
I was surprised. I always thought the Steam Deck looked bulky. I always thought it looked like something that would not feel good to use. And using it there, I was like, oh, this is like lighter than I thought. It feels good in my hands.
So you didn't use the Switch handheld. You only used the mouse thing part of it. You didn't get to hold it like. Did you get to hold it like?
No. We only used the Joy-Cons.
Okay.
We did not see the Switch 2. We didn't. Nothing else Switch 2 was there for us. We only used the Joy-Cons. It was very specific what we could and could not do, and what we could see and we could not see. And it was if you played the intro to Bravely Default, you could play it in like the slidey things, whatever that's called, like where the Joy-Cons slide into the grips. Or if you played the mini games, you played mouse on a table.
I feel like it's weird that Switch 2 launches in like 3 weeks.
I was like paying off my credit card, and I noticed that I just got charged for it.
Oh, charged? Where'd you order from?
Target.
Oh shit, man! I should probably let her know. Like, yeah, you might have got charged.
Yeah, I don't know. Anything else you want to talk about, Mike?
Honestly, as soon as I stepped off the floor, I think I forgot everything.
It's gonna take notes.
Well, no one asked me yet, but I'm here.
All right, what do you got,
Todd, what'd you?
So, there was a place where I got a bottled water. It was probably my favorite experience of the day, and then I had to leave. That was it.
Wow, that's cool.
It was weird being there when no one was there, because it seems like such a small thing. It seems like such a smaller scale compared to like when the crowds are there. So it felt like it was like underwhelming a little bit being there at that early.
I mean, Saturday it was jam packed.
Yeah, that's you couldn't pay me to go on a Saturday ever again. I think Saturdays are just fucking.
He's just saying, no one paid you. You showed up at the optimal time for you, and you still left in 10 minutes.
Well, I had to anyways, though. I had to. There's nothing I could do. And who the fuck does PAX during Mother's Day weekend? Like, what the fuck is that shit?
You could have brought Amanda.
Yeah, right. She'd fucking want to be out of there in like 2 minutes. She'd probably go to the bar quicker than I do.
Yeah, well, still, that's a gift.
All right, is that end part 1 of PAX East episode? Are we good here?
Yeah, I guess. Yeah.
So as a I guess a tease, or maybe if you are listening to this episode and maybe you're one of these developers that were like, what the fuck, they didn't talk about the thing that we fucking talked about or we played together or whatever. So we are going to split this a little bit so that way Dom can be here for the full conversation about some of the stuff that he also played, but also then just our top 5 best 5 games of the show, whatever. So if you were looking forward to us talking about Tanuki Pond Summer, Cyberlich and the Death Cult of Labor, Gigasword, Desktop Survivors 98, and Royalty Free for All, we will talk about those things on the next episode. So apologies if you were Mike flashing that hard copy of Desktop Survivors 98. Apologies if you were looking forward to that today. We will be chatting about those things next week, and I guess spoilers. Those are the 5 games that we gave our Best in Show awards to. So you can look forward to us chatting about those games next week. I guess before we wrap things up and play the game, thank you all so much for listening to this week's episode 471, our PAX East 2025 Roundup Part 1. We appreciate you. Tons of ways to support us, and I said support us twice. I'll say it a third time, support us. the best way, easiest way, quickest way for you to do anything meaningful for us is leave us a quick 5-star review, whether it's Apple Podcasts, Spotify, wherever you listen to the show. Leave us a quick review. It's super, super helpful. Follow us if you're not following us. Subscribe to us if you're not subscribed to us. We do record the show live every week at twitch.tv/passcontroller. So if you want to watch the show live, you can do that. If you can't catch the show live but still want to watch the show, you can go to you can just search Pass Control Podcast on YouTube, and we put the VOD over there some point after the show ends. What else we got? I don't know. Just go to passthecontroller.io. That's our website. You can find everything that we do linked from there, whether it's cocktail recipes, video game reviews that we write, or other written content, links to the podcast, links to social media accounts, whatever it may be. All that stuff can be found over there. We do have a merch store right now on Threadless. I keep saying this and it keeps not happening, but at some point that store is going to come down because we're going to probably be shifting to more limited merchandise that is going to be something that you get directly from us, that is going to be made by local makers here to us. So if you want to get stuff that's off there, that window is going to close at some point soon. When it is actually going to happen, I will give a little bit more of a clear, hey, you got whatever couple weeks to do this, otherwise dunzo. We just want to move towards, just more meaningful things, and also support local creators where we can, because that's just what we want to do. All right. Before we wrap things up, as we do with every show, we play a game. And the way this works is all year long, we keep track of the leaderboard. The leaderboard for the year stands with Dom still in first, 28 points, Todd in second with 26, Mike in third with 13, a couple of guest points, a couple of chat points, but Dom isn't here. So this is a chance for Todd
Can't text him?
Huh?
Can't text him? Or is he completely out?
I don't think he's in a situation where he can respond quickly, so
Gotcha. Okay.
it's just going to be maybe we can give him next week, but the way that this game...
No, absolutely not. No.
The way that this game is going to work, we're going to play a new game called Did Gex Do That?
Yeah.
And the way this game works is I'm going to read a few quotes, and you are going to tell me if Gex said that. Simple, quick, easy, points on the line. Let me pull up my list. Gex quote number 1. Gecko chop, baby. Did Gex say that? Mike.
Is this a free... I don't know. It sounds Gexish.
Did you say Gex said that?
Yes, I think Gex said that.
Okay. Todd, did Gex say that?
What was it? Gex chop?
Gecko chop, baby.
I'm going to say no. He did not say that.
Mike said yes. Todd said no. We continue. Okay. I have two different tabs open. I have a tab open that is actual Gex quotes, and then I have a tab open of things that are not Gex quotes. I got to make sure I'm on the right page so I know what I'm saying. Okay. Now that's what I call getting some tail. Todd, did Gex say that?
Yes.
Okay. Mike, did Gex say that?
That actually sounds more Gexus than the first thing. So I guess realistically, I have to say yes. Gex said that.
Okay. Last one.
Can I just say it's possible that I just don't know Gex that well?
Yeah, I mean, same. But that second one sounds more Gexus. I'm trying to think back to the donkey video, and I just
Pilot's license? What for? Mike, did Gex say that?
Well, that one I know Gex did not say.
So are you saying no?
I'm saying no.
Okay. Todd?
Unless...
Why do you think no, Mike? Is what I want to know.
Because Gex fucking loves aviation. He would have a pilot's license.
All right, this is a fake one. It's not, he did not say it, but I said it because Mike knows the answer. It's a Bubsy
Oh.
line. So
Okay.
I just wanted to say it.
The thing was, right before you said it, I was just going to say that line out loud, unprompted. So when you said it really threw me off.
All right, quote number 3. Carrot Top, is that you? Mike,
No
did Gex
way.
say
I
that?
don't know.
Again, it sounds like a Gex thing. I'm just trying to remember if Carrot Top was like popping mid to late 90s. He probably was. I'm going to say no, it's not a Gex quote, and watch this be the one Gex quote. Everything else was fucking made up.
Todd, did Gex say that?
I'm going with Mike. I'm saying no.
Okay. All right. Well, one of the throwaways that I was gonna do, but is just stupid, and I should have used it as the first one. Wahoo! I'm Gex. I'm a green lizard. Wahoo! Which is no. Wait. So okay, that would have worked. Todd would have thought that was a Gex quote.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, I don't know.
All right. I'm gonna let you know that Mike is scooping up 2 points this round, and Todd is scooping up 1 point this round because all 3 of these were indeed Gex quotes.
Damn.
Yeah. Double dip.
You know, I thought to myself, like, there's no way Brenden could write fucking Gex lines.
What do you mean? Wahoo! I'm Gex, green lizard. Wahoo!
Yeah, you didn't use that one because you knew it was fucking terrible and would call you
It
out.
almost worked on Todd. No, I looked up a Reddit thread of fake Gex quotes. In that one, I just thought was very stupid and funny. So that puts Mike with 2 more points at 15. Todd bumping up 1 at 27. Dom's still in the lead. I am gonna don't tell Dom that. I'm gonna ask these again to Dom at the beginning of next week's episode and see where he stands with the Gex quotes. And you know what? This might be a future segment. Did Gex say that? I kind of like this. There's an abundance of things that we can pull from. I kind of want to do more, but it's not fair to Dom if we just start jacking the points up. Because there's some silly things in here.
Well, it's not fair if Todd gets any of them right. As long as I keep getting them right, nothing changes.
That's true. All right. Well, that'll do it for this week's episode 471. We appreciate you, and we will see you next time.